Hello, everyone. Welcome. It's Tuesday. um, Hello. I hope you're all doing well. Let me make sure my sound's off on my computer. It is. Um, Thank you for being here. I see there are a few people out here joining us. Thank you so much. We really do appreciate it. Sorry, I got my blanket. It's not too bad in here today, but my feet are a little chilly. Um, how are you all? I just literally, um, I was up at the cottage and I had to go grocery shopping, and I um I just got home and I started the live down in the kitchen. I carried my phone around, starting the live down in the kitchen to feed the cats, and then brought it up here, got myself all situated, ready to go live or ready to go on camera, and then I forgot my juice water, so I had to run back downstairs. That's the kind of day it is. But you know, it's okay. It's all right. In the grand scheme of things, no problem. I hope you're doing well out there. Susie's here. Hello, Susie. Hello, Marianne. Thank you for being here. I'm actually getting comments over here in my comment bar. Amazing. Let me put the comments on the screen since it seems to be working. Um, Whoops. There we go. Hi, everyone. Norma's here with us too. Hello, Norma. Thank you for being here. Whew. Marianne's having a snowstorm. Thank goodness we are not. It was a nice 56 degrees today, I think is what it came up to. Um, yeah, well, I guess the high was 59. I missed that. I don't know when it was 59, but we're at 47 right now. So nice. Sorry, Marianne. Sorry you're having a snowstorm. We're supposed to, I think, over the next few days, we're going to be in the 50s, mid 50s tomorrow, 60s Thursday and Friday. Now, our snow is coming Sunday. We're supposed to get some precipitation Sunday and Monday. We're actually supposed to be raining Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of this week too, but it's going to be rain. Norma says, I think got up to 65 today. Yeah, we're supposed to go up to 61 or so on Friday. So I'm hoping that weather's coming across. We got nice and warm today. The cottage is toasty. So I was up there today. We kind of took yesterday off. Um, we just needed a day. Hello, Danette. So we took yesterday off from the live, which we rarely do. Even if we take an afternoon off, we usually don't take the live off, but we took the live off yesterday. And Andrew and I just kind of spent some time together. We nibbled on some snacks throughout the day. We did a few, we did some work. I sent out some emails, and Andrew worked on some I guess not consignments. I always forget the word. Anyway, he worked on a few projects, um, and then we watched a little bit of TV, lounged around, and tried to just all in all take a break, which I highly recommend if you are able to. I tried to stay off the internet too much yesterday and just tried to kind of have a day with just between us, and that was nice. We have not gotten to do that much. Um, I joke sometimes that Andrew and we live together, but we barely see each other. It's really not that much of a joke when I actually think about it, uh, because he's usually going to bed close to when I get up, and I go do my things outside of the house most of the day. And then I come home, I come up here and I do the live. So I don't see him for the hours pretty much that we're doing the live, other than in the comments like you all do. And then we have dinner together at around midnight or so. And then we watch some TV maybe. And then I go to sleep. And then that's when he stays up and works all night. So we rarely see much of each other. So we kind of spent the day together and just kind of relaxed as best as we can. There's a lot going on in the world. There's a lot on our minds. There's a lot going on for our business. But there's a lot going on for our friends out there in the world, which has been really kind of difficult too. I'm somebody who is very, I feel like I'm very empathic. I feel like I take a lot of energy from other people. Um, Not that I take it, but it affects me. And someone in our family lost one of their pets yesterday. Some of our friends are having some major issues, and it has. I've been sending out good energy to everybody as much as I can, and whether you consider that praying or sending energy or whatever that is in your world, that's what I've been doing. Um, and I'm happy to do that. And we want to know when our friends need our help. Um, this is not to say that we don't want to know these things. I would rather know them. There's just a lot going on in the world, um, like macro and micro. There's so much going on. And I was listening to, I know some of you believe in astrology, some of you don't. Um, but I was listening to a lot of things today, just to see what people were saying. They started coming up on my YouTube channel, and or my YouTube timeline, and I I started listening to them, and there's a lot happening. um, which you can say you don't believe it, you can say it's not true, but a lot of the things that I was listening to describe exactly kind of what's happening in my world right now for my sign, and it's kind of wild. Um, but today is the Lunar New Year, so Happy New Year to those of you who celebrate that. Um, and it is the year of the fire horse, which I think has not come around for 60 years, I think they said, and should bring about lots of change and lots of energy. And so, if you have not, I sent out a little reel today about our Year of the Fire Horse inspiration kit. If you'd like to design with kind of that purpose in mind, we have that in our online store. I think it's only $18. Comes with some nice crystal beads, some vintage Czech glass, some nice little horse charms. And it is available. We have a limited quantity of those available, but there are still some in the online store. So feel free to grab that if you would like to. Has anybody else come in? Let me make sure I'm not missing anyone. Marianne says currently negative 22 Celsius. I have to translate that. I always have to translate because most of us who are watching here are not in the Celsius. So that's -7, almost -7.5 degrees, -8 degrees. That's cold. That's cold. I do not um, envy you. Uh, um, so please stay warm, stay safe with your snowstorm. I know you get lots of snow sometimes. Um, Marianne had pot stickers for dinner in honor of Lunar New Year. Nice. Um, Andrew, I believe, is making adobo. That is something that comes from his family's roots in the Philippines, and he has been thinking about it and craving it, and we make it. It's great when you can make it with meat. We do not eat meat, so he makes it with tofu, and I'm super excited for it because he asked me what do I want for dinner tonight, and I had no idea. I feel like I'm brain dead some days lately, and he's like, I've been craving and thinking about adobo, so he's making that, and I'm super excited for it because we have not had that in a very long time. It takes some time to make, um, especially with the tofu. So he's starting it actually right now. He didn't sleep much. I think he slept a little bit while I was gone today, but not a lot. Um, so he's making that. We'll probably have an early night tonight. I've been trying to get to bed a little bit earlier, just so I can get more sleep and kind of rest. Gertie has this habit of coming in at almost exactly 6:30 in the morning every single morning. She bangs on the door, she cries outside the door. It's almost always exactly that time. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's in the air at that moment. Um, she also seems to be really in touch with me, and I don't know how she knows. Um, but the moment I wake up, whatever moment it is that I seem to, wake out of bed or, kind of, when you're sleeping and then you just wake up in the middle of the night to turn over, or it seems like she knows because she will start crying outside the door, even if I don't move. Like I'm like, maybe she hears me moving inside the bed. And, no, even if I just lay still, I don't know if my breathing changes. I don't know. Maybe I'm actually hearing her wake me up and don't realize it. But I feel like this morning, I woke up, I think it was around 5 o'clock the first time, and just kind of woke out of a deep sleep. I took melatonin last night and I kind of woke up for the very first time. And as soon as I kind of realized I was conscious, she started crying. It was so weird. Um, and I didn't let her in because she's a little rambunctious thing and she does not understand that this is still sleep time. She's definitely very crepuscular, like dawn and dusk. She runs around, especially dawn. She loves dawn. Um, anyway, let's see. Cindy's here. Hello, Cindy. Thank you for joining us. Good to see you here. Monica is here. Hello, Monica. Thank you for being here. Danette says we had burgers and baked beans for dinner. That sounds delicious. I love good baked beans. There is nothing like good baked beans, I feel like. Um, yeah, I haven't had them in a long time. I that's funny you say it though, because I was walking through I was buying some beans the other day and I was like, I should buy baked beans. And because that's one thing, I mean, Andrew has, but I don't make my own baked beans. I buy them in a can. And I almost bought some the other day just to eat them by themselves because sometimes I just like baked beans. They're good. Let me see here. Cindy had homemade chicken soup. Nice. Susan's here. Hello, Susan. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for being here. Susan says I had mixed green salad with red cabbage, yellow pepper, mozzarella, and red wine vinaigrette. Nice. I like it. I like it. Oops, my comments have just jumped. I'm trying to think of all that. When people say what they've eaten, I put it together, try to put it together and see what it tastes like in my mind. So mixed green, red cabbage, yellow peppers, mozzarella, and red wine. That would be very good. That red cabbage with the pepper and mozzarella, that'd be pretty good. Vicky says she heard you open your eyes. It's uncanny. I know. I don't understand. It must be that I just don't register her yelling outside the door, and she's really what's waking me up. Maybe. But I feel like sometimes I wake up and there's silence, and then all of a sudden it'll be Gertie outside the door. It's so weird. Let's see here. Um, Monica says I had to take my husband to the hospital tonight, so did not get to cook. Oh no. I hope everything's okay. Um, and I hope everything's okay. And I hope you grab some food on your way home or get some food out. Um, yeah, things are wild right now. Like I said, even for people I know, there are some tragic and um, traumatic things happening. Um, and it's a lot. It's a lot. I'm just hoping, I hope that all I can keep saying is that we're going through some transition and we're going to come out of this in a much better side. Um, but there's some really hard things happening for people getting through this right now. And so I hope he's okay, Monica. Um, let's see here. Dennis says they were Bush's baked beans, vegetarian style. Those are good. I've had those. Those are pretty good. I think that's usually the brand we end up buying, and we get the vegetarian ones too. Susan says, I picked up Phil, who goes for his annual checkup tomorrow. This concerns Smokey, who is now on me kneading and squawking, right? Got to give Phil some love. Get ready for that checkup. Hopefully, all of it goes well with that too. Susan says, I wish I understood cat language better. I know. I know. I wish I knew what they were telling me because Gertie tells me a lot. Just Barnaby and Gertie are, well, Idabelle's a talker too. They all talk at various points in time. Gilbert talks the least, I would say. Ida Bell will talk a lot. Gertie talks to me a lot. Barnaby talks a lot. Usually I can understand Barnaby. We've been together long enough that I get a lot of what he's saying, not everything, but I get a lot of what he's saying, and he's learned to take me places, to show me what he means. So that's pretty dang cute. We kind of vibe that way, which is good. Gertie is getting there. She's trying to show me things that she wants. But yeah, yeah. Let me close this so I can see. Let's see. Susie's here. Hello, Susie. Other Susie. Thanks for being here. Susie says, I feel so guilty about taking Phil in for his annual, like I'm a bad mom or something. He hates it. I know. They make us feel so bad about that, right? Um, I know. I know. And then I'm always like filled with fear that something's going to be wrong, and they're going to find something. And it's so hard. It's so hard. But you're not a bad mom. You're a good mom, and you were taking them to the doctors for a checkup, even if they hate it. Um, get that preventative check going, right? Susie's tired these days. Everything is stressful. I need a break. Yes. A lot is going on. I am trying to be in a better mood after our break yesterday. I'm trying to push up and up today. It has been a challenging day, uh, but we have survived another day. Um, I'd love to be like, we have prospered another day. We have survived another day right now. I want to get back into the prospering another day. But we are here. We are very lucky. We are very fortunate. Um, there is a lot going on, but we have friends, we have loved ones, we have people who surround us with good energy and love. And I have decided to try to look on that end of things. Things are difficult in many ways. Um, but if we only focus on that, we will never see anything but that. So, while that is there, it is a thing in life right now. I do believe it's stronger for a lot of people than it has been in a very long time. I do also believe we have the power to create beautiful things, to bring beauty into the world, to bring community and compassion and love to all of those around us. And that is what I am trying to do. That is where I am trying to place my mindset. It is not easy some days. I slip up a lot, but that is where I feel we have to. We have to go there. We have to be there. Um, or not. Right? If that's not your vision, that's fine too. But for me, I feel like that is where things should be and where we should be. And what we should be doing is trying to, really help one another and make sure each other is cared for and loved and feels appreciated. It means a lot. I've had a few people write us emails and, you know, um, and who are just having a hard time, and it's fun. We write back, and we commiserate, and we sympathize, and we try to do our best. You're not alone out there. um, some people don't want to talk about it over social media. They don't even want to be on social media anymore. We've gotten a few emails about that. Some people have told us they're not watching as many lives because they're not on social media much anymore. I completely understand that, but we are here, and we are trying to stay on the positive side. I know we don't always do that, but we are trying to stay as much as we can on the positive side of things, because life's hard enough. And I know sometimes we all get sucked into talking about the things that are wrong, um, but we are trying to balance that. And I hope we balance it well enough for most people. Um, for those of you, especially who watch us often, and it is not an easy thing, right? But we want you to feel like this is a space where you can come. you know we want you to be able to say what's going on in your life, even if it is not great. But we also hope that people will come here and talk about the good things, and let's make this a good space, and let's try to focus on the things that we can do and the things that we can help with. And, if people are having issues, it's a good place to talk to. Um, but, like I said, people are reaching out in many different ways, and we are very thankful for that. We would rather hear from people than think about people suffering like they can't talk or they don't have anyone to talk to. Because I think there are people who are in that circumstance too. When things get really down, I know it's hard for me to open up sometimes, and sometimes when I open up here on these lives, this is like my way of relating and sharing things. And I do hope that um, it never comes across as too much. Um, I don't want to go too negative for y'all, so check me if I do. But I also I want people to have, this is a community, and I keep saying that this is a community, and we want people to feel like they are a part of it. And even we don't want you to feel like if you're having a bad day, you can't come, right? You can't talk about it. But we also want you to know that if you're having a good day, it's very welcome. Um, if some people are having a bad day and you're afraid to say you've had a good day, say you've had a good day. Um, it's okay. We need to be open to each other, and we need to celebrate each other even when we're having hard times. Um, let me. Tyr almost never talks, says Marianne. Loki talks in his sleep, and Miss Pushy Seif is the big talker. That's cute. That's cute. Um, let me see. Oh, let's see. There's comments jump. Sorry. Susan's here. Hello, Susan. I have to give Mookie B12 shots once a week, and he gets so pissed at me. I bet. I don't like that shots. Shots are hard because that's another thing you feel like you're a bad parent for, I feel like, because they're really hard to give. They're not hard to give, but like they don't like it, right? Um, and I always feel guilty. And we had to, it wasn't shots, but we had to do um, the IV drips for Babette and Paolo. And I always felt so bad when you had to insert the needle, and because they hated it, but it did make them feel better and it kept them going for a while. Smudges are really good about showing me what he wants, says Susie. We weren't always able to communicate the way we do now. Yeah, they learn. I think they learn better than than we do. They learn how to kind of control us more than we do them, I think, in that way, and figure out what we need them to show us. I think sometimes they're more intelligent than we are. Let's see. Susan says the hub says it's his job to keep me from eating too much candy, so he's eating it for me. um, I don't know if that's true. I don't know about that. Candy is one of. I feel like I bought for Valentine's Day. I brought home some cookies and chips and some those. What's the name? Um, I can't think of the name. They're the little round chocolates, and I can't think of the brand, and I can't think of the name of the actual. They're kind of like, I guess, like, I don't know, like a bonbon, but they have a outer shell of chocolate, and then a not gooey, not but less like thick, hard inner, and um, I've been craving some kind of candies more lately. I'm one of those people, like I've talked about this. My aunt and I are the same. When we crave sugar, we crave that like high test. Like we don't want it in cakes and cookies necessarily or things like that. We want pure sugar. Like give us gummy candies, give us Sour Patch Kids, like that kind of stuff. That's the kind of stuff. And I'm craving like Sour Patch Kids right now. I almost got them at the grocery store, but I'm trying to not fall into that. Because I've been trying to watch my weight. I've been trying to eat, not too much, trying to eat better. And that's going to blow it. I've been eating fruit instead of candy. I bought some apples today. I have some bananas. Been trying to do that instead of like hardcore snacks, like candies and chips and cookies. Um, but I those Sour Patch Kids were yelling at me today. Susie says, "Thank you. Thank you for everything." Um, Marion says, "Silly husband, make sure you get your share." Susan says, "I did." Nice. Vicky says, "My last round of tests is next Friday, so I hope I can finally relax. My fibro scan last week was mostly normal, so that helped my stress level. I hate getting older." Older's hard, right? It shouldn't be. It should be easier. As we get older, we should come to perfect health, right? I feel like that's the way things should work. Like you can have your colds and things when you're young, and have the issues when you're young, and then as you get older, life should just give you perfect health, and you should be strong and capable up until the end, and then at some point, someday, it's just done. Like I feel like that should be how things work. I should be happy and 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 healthy, and no joint pains, no back pains, no eye issues. The eyes should get better. Everything should get better as we get older. And then one day it's just over, done. Like there should be no pain in it. There should be no, it should just be, that's it. That's what that should be the life. Doesn't work that way, unfortunately. Getting older is harder. Um, and I don't know why I don't know. It shouldn't be that way. Susan says, "If I didn't make jewelry and do other art, I wouldn't be on social media. It really is the only thing I use it for, and try not to get sucked down a rabbit hole with all the bizarre posts out there." Yes. I talked to somebody today. I said, if we did not have our business, I would be on social media a lot less, a lot less, a lot less. Um, I really, I we connect to you all, which is wonderful. I have a few friends that I don't see very much, but if it weren't for the business, I think if I worked somewhere else that I didn't deal with social media, or didn't, I don't think I would have much of a social media presence these days. Um, it's hard. It is hard, but fortunately, unfortunately, we get to connect with you, which is great. Um, we get to build this community, which is amazing, and has sustained us in hard times, and I think sustained a lot of other people in hard times. But wow, do I wish some days that it were a little bit different, or at least that social media could be what we all dreamed it to be, like staying in touch with your friends, staying in touch with the things you actually want to stay in touch with. That would be nice. Um, Marianne says, "All that is going on in the world makes me glad I am Canadian." Yep. Yep. Um, Vicky says, "Susan, I need to send him my candy. If it's here, I eat it." That's the way it is. That's why we very rarely have a lot in our house, because if it's here, it's gone soon. We definitely do that. Susan says, "Hi, Vicky, keeping my fingers crossed that all goes well with your tests." Yeah, we hope so. We all want you to have good outcomes. Susan also says, "Hope your tests come out well, Vicky. It's hard to get old, but it's better than the alternative." Um, Susan says to Susan, "I just try to ignore the bad social media stuff and stick with positive things. Sometimes I do step away for a bit." Sometimes you have to. It's like Andrew and I, we kind of shut ourselves down a little bit yesterday. Um, but it was needed. It was needed. I was lacking a lot of energy. I'm still not full. I'm not, that E to F is not reading on the F as full right now for that my tank, but I'm better. I'm better. I was starting to feel really run down, and I think Andrew could tell, and he's like, let's just take the night off." Marion says, "Except for the snow, it has been a mostly good day. This fire horse, it's supposed to be, it's supposed to, from what I've understood and what I've read, it's supposed to be pushing through to good things, lots of energy, lots of good things. Um, but we're just in the transition of it all right now. Um, Sue says, Marianne, I sometimes think in passing about going to Canada. My maternal great-grandmother was born in Montreal. Nice. Lindor, says Vicky. Yes, those are the Lindor things. Yes, those are good. I got the milk chocolate ones. We don't get them very often. There was a time when I brought those home almost weekly, and I kind of forgot about them. I do that. I go on spurts of things, and then I do it for a long time. I was talking about this in the D stash a little bit. Like I'll play a song for days and days and days, and then I'll just kind of drift off of it and then not listen to it in forever. And I do that with food and with other things too. So those I used to bring home almost every week, and we would indulge. And I haven't had them in a long time, so I grabbed them for Valentine's Day for us and brought some home. Um, I got some dark chocolate nonpareils for Valentine's. Guess who ate at least half of that, if not more? Well, they're allowed to have half, right? But more, that you're supposed to leave each other half, right? That doesn't always happen around here either. Um, Marion says, you do get fewer colds, LOL, but all the other stuff, well, let's just say it's other. Yeah. Um, I guess we get fewer colds. I don't know. I growing up, I did not get sick very often. Probably, maybe colds. I guess that's probably right. But I never was a big on like any flus and things like that. They were like 24-hour flus. And I have to say, I probably get fewer of those, but I'm also with fewer people. I'm not going to school. I'm not going to college. I'm not, I'm not around as many people as I used to be, which is probably why um, I haven't had a lot of that stuff, thankfully. Um, that's another thing that's going around in our family um, is the flu or whatever it is that's going around. I forget what my mom said, but it is bad. Like we're talking like nasty. Um, and it's hanging on for a few days, and it's taking some people in my family completely out for days. So I'm trying to make sure my mom is careful. Because it usually starts with the kids that are in the school, and she watches them sometimes. So, um, trying to make sure she's taking her vitamins and reminding her to do that. Not that I need to. She does that. She's the one who reminds me, but just trying to make sure she doesn't get too sick. Susan says here we could hit a record of high of 74 tomorrow, but Thursday the big shift comes and we might see some severe weather late. Oh boy. Leslie's here. Says, good evening, William. I hope my pictures helped you today. Yes, a lot of people were showing a lot of nice pictures, and I appreciate that. It definitely helped. It's good to see the things of beauty, things that people consider beautiful or fun. Um, Too often we see things that are not beautiful and fun on social media. And so it's an uplifting thing to see that once in a while. Let's see here. Everybody's saying hi, hi, hi. And Vicky says, I work in a pediatric office. Germs abound. There's strep, flu, COVID, and a viral stomach bug that are surging. Yeah. Um, I don't know if it's the flu or the stomach bug, but like this is like um, it's like it's bad. I don't want to go into graphic detail about what's happening, but let's just say if it can come out, it's coming out. Like it's apparently really nasty. And it hangs around for a while. You can't eat anything. You have to try to stay hydrated, but it doesn't stay in. Um, yeah, yeah. And I believe it. I believe you're seeing a lot more of it because it's happening to people in my family. Susan says, same here, William. Some weeks we only go to the grocery and pet stores, plus an occasional appointment or meeting. Yeah, I go to the grocery store usually every other day or so, is what it works out to. But other than that, I go to the cottage, I come to the house. I go to the post office to drop stuff off. Rarely see anybody. I go in, I drop my packages on the counter. They have a place for us to drop them because they're already pre done. So I don't need to wait in line or anything. I just drop them off and I say, hi, how's it going? And then I leave. So that's the most interaction, that in the grocery store, which I'm usually only in there for probably half hour at most because we shop every other day. So we're only picking up a few things, throwing it in the basket, and then heading back out. Um, Otherwise, I'm pretty much at the cottage. If I'm at the store and people come in, that's the one chance that I would see like strangers, right? Where I have the most possibility of, they're buying beads, we're handling things together, we're working in a class. That could be where I could catch something, but generally, not a lot else going on. Kimberly's here. Hello, Kimberly. Thanks for joining us. Um, I had to post a picture of a sassy bracelet. Yes, you did. I saw that earlier too. But I'm glad you posted it there too. Um, yeah, I have not been as good, I think, about commenting on people's designs. I've been, I use the energy where I have it and when I have it, and I hope that you all are doing the same thing. Don't wear yourselves out. Um, but I feel bad because I'm not commenting as much. I'm trying. Um, Normally, I try to comment as Allegory Gallery and then as me sometimes, and sometimes as William tries things or myself, uh, so that it gets more traction and more people see it. But I'm at least trying to like, love everything, and then comment if I can. Norma says there are some bad illnesses going around. An elderly friend of mine is in the ICU recovering from pneumonia. When we saw her less than a week ago, it was just a cold. She's much better now. Glad she's better. Yeah, there's a lot. So stay healthy out there. If you're a masker, wear your masks. Don't be afraid to do that. Um, Especially if you're compromised in some way. And you know, I hate to say stay away from people because we can't always do that, and you shouldn't always do that. But there's a lot of there's a lot of stuff going around. It makes it hard. Um, let's see here. Kimberly says, "I hope you laughed at it. That was the goal." Yes, I did. Leslie says, "I love working from home. It is nice working from home, working from our cottage. It is very nice to be able to do that, and we are thankful that we are able to do that." Um, I don't end up generally too sick doing that. But I was feeling drained, like I said yesterday, and that's why we kind of took the day off. Andrew was feeling the same way. And I was starting to feel like a tickle in my throat, or actually in my nose. I get it in my nose and my eyes, and then I feel like I'm getting a cold. So I got the vitamin C and I upped the vitamin D intake, and thankfully it seems to nothing has come of it, which is good. I'm thankful for that. Vicky says, I've been at the hospital a lot over the last month. I'm usually the only one wearing a mask. It's the one place where I'm sure to wear one. Yes. If I were there, I would definitely be wearing a mask. I can't imagine why other people wouldn't. Um, I mean, I guess if you're strong enough and you want to build up immunities, go right ahead. But yeah, I think going to the hospital is one of those places I would definitely be putting on a mask. Uh, but yeah, that's that's that. It's already Tuesday. It feels so weird because we weren't here yesterday. Normally we're here every weekday, but we weren't, and so it feels a little bit odd to be starting this on a Tuesday and knowing tomorrow is going to be our 3 p.m. live instead of 7:30 p.m. And we will be working on. I'll be working on pottery. Maybe I've had some of my pendants fired. We'll see. Um, I was going to wait until I got them all done to have them fired, but I ended up because I realized they have to go through two firings, so it's best to probably get some of them done. They have to be fired once for the underglaze, and then I will glaze them with a clear glaze, and they're fired again. You can technically fire them. I could glaze them and then fire them all at once, but sometimes they can, when you do that, sometimes it can run. We don't want any of my images to run. So, especially if they're hung in the kiln because they're on wires. And if they're hung up, they could run. So I decided that the ones that I had done, I gave her to fire. And so those will go through a firing. And she said she might get to it before my next class, but she might not. So they might all go in at once anyway, but there may be some that are done. If they're done, I will clear coat those and get those ready for another glaze firing, and then start working on the other ones that I've got. So I'm excited. I'm just trying to play around. I'm no great illustrator artist that way, watercolor painter. I can't draw like a cat to save my life, but um, I'm trying to draw little creatures and do things and flowers and things that make me happy. And hopefully they'll come out okay and people will like them because I'm going to put them up for sale. So we'll see what happens. Um, but yeah, that's that. I got a package from Harry as well, but I did not get that opened yet. So I was going to show some of that stuff, but I don't have it ready today. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow, maybe not till later this week. Um, and so I do have some new stuff from Harry to show y'all. But tonight, I went through the cottage and found some fun stuff, and I hope you like them. So we're going to get started with the show. Unless anybody has anything else, we can keep talking. We're going to keep talking anyway. So I'm going to flip this around and get my desk organized here a little bit because I'm a little discombobulated right now. Let's move this. All right, let's flip this. I always forget how to do this. They move things around a little bit. Here we are. Turn our lights on. Now, do I have papers? That is the one thing I thought I had. Well, that's weird. I just cut. There they are. I need to cut more. Let me put a few more papers here. What I wanted to do though first, let me put this down. This is available in the online store, but this is the Year of the Fire Horse kit. And so you're gonna get these vintage check glass beads. You get those. You get these round drooks in vintage check. You get the vintage fire polished check glass. And then you get this beautiful, beautiful crystal strand in these kind of embery, lovely colors. Deep reds, oranges, yellows, like embers, burning flame. You get this horse head pendant, these two galloping horse charms, and then you get this Allegory Gallery fine pewter horse toggle. So it's a jumping horse. This is in the antique silver, and it's a horse toggle to play around with. So I'll leave that up while I am cutting the paper here. And if you like that, you can grab that at allegorygallery.com. It is available there right now. It's only $18. We can ship it right out to you. Don't forget, next Tuesday is my birthday, and we will be doing the Kittapalooza birthday celebration. So we'll have new kits to show you. All day long, we're going to be doing birthday things. We'll probably do some giveaways. I like doing giveaways. We will be hopefully having people show all their things. I hope you all are starting to compile the items that you've made using our kits, because we're going to ask you to show us on the in the design challenges group the items that you've made using Allegory Gallery kits in the past. And if you've got any new kits that you've just picked up recently, we've got out to you. We hope that you will make something with those new kits as well. I'm trying to go through and make sure I get kits out to people who've ordered anything. And hopefully we'll get those all out to you if you're looking to play around. Even if you order them here soon, we can get them out. Leslie says, wow, that's such a nice bundle. Susan says, the Year of the Fire Horse has some great colors, right? Susan says, I need to clean up my workspace and go through my kits to see what I can make. Yes, get ready. Marianne says, I was thinking of switching out the silver toggle for the same one in gold. Yes. That's a good idea. Do you already have that? Have you got the kit? I can't remember. I don't know if it would get to you now, but we could send you a kit with the gold one instead if you want. I'm sure I can make that happen for you. Kimberly says, oh, I love that kit. It's really nice. It's a really nice kit. There are limited quantities of this kit available. I don't know how many we have left. Let me take a look here. Including this one. Let me jump in. Marion says, I do have the kit and the gold toggle. There you go. You're all ready. You are ready for it. Let me see here. Where am I? Fire horse. Looks like we've got 8 of them left. 8 of them left only. So those are available if you'd like to grab one. And let me check to make sure I'm right. Yeah, $18. $18. Norma says, I ordered the Fire Horse kit yesterday. Yes, I saw that. I'm going to work on getting that out to you. Along, excuse me, along with some of your other things too. Thank you. Thank you. Try and get that out in case you're looking to use it for the birthday celebration. And of course, because it is now the Year of the Fire Horse. So there you go. There you go. Diane says, hello, have you shipped mine yet? I don't know, Diane. I can't answer that right now. I'd have to check in my notes if it's been shipped out yet. If not, I can get it out to you. But as long as you're home to receive it. I wasn't sure, but I know you emailed me. You're one of the people that emailed me today. So I'm assuming you are back home ready to receive packages again. But I wasn't sure what you were doing with your recovery. So let me know and I can take a look. Kimberly said, just ordered. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's a really nice kit. I think Andrew did an amazing job. I don't have them all here, but Andrew did an amazing job with the holiday kits this year. So if you missed any of them, this was the Lunar New Year. He also did one for St. Patrick's Day. He did one for Easter. And we did one for Cloud Dancer for the Pantone color of the year. So they are really, really nice kits. And if you missed them, I think we did really good prices on them, and they have lots of really nice beads. So take a look in case you missed them. And yeah, oh, someone else just ordered one too. Thank you so much. Diane says, yep, I'm home. Good. I figured since you were going through things with your email today, I wrote you back and said that. I figured you must be home. Leslie says, yippee, I just ordered. Thank you so much, Leslie. I appreciate that. We'll get that out to you too. Yeah, I think our kits, we often give you a very good deal on them. So if you haven't seen the latest kits, check them out. Check them out, everybody, especially those holiday ones, because they're really fun. And I particularly love this one, and I love the Easter one. You know, I love pastels, so it is the Easter one. There's Andrew. Hey, Andrew. Says, did you see the pieces Cheryl made with the Cloud Dancer kit? I know. Did you all see those? Those were beautiful. If you didn't, check out her timeline. And I think she posted in the Design Challenges group too. I can't remember if she did or not, but definitely check out her timeline and or her Instagram, because Cheryl, she did amazing stuff with the Cloud Dancer kits. And she even mentioned the other day that she picked up another one because she liked it so much. So The Cloud Dancer has some really pretty things in it too. So you can look up Cloud Dancer on our online store if you want to check that out. Um, and there's the Easter 2026 kit and the St. Patrick's Day 2026 kit. Those are all available right now in the online store. Beautiful kits and really great prices, I think, on those. All right, I'm gonna take a drink. One moment, everybody. Andrew says, I was making dinner and it took longer than I thought. I'm surprised you're still not making dinner, because that making adobo usually takes a pretty long time, especially with tofu, to get that right. I know it takes you a while. I'm looking forward to that. Said I had to get the marinade going. Oh yeah, that's the part. It takes a while, right? I was like, usually I can smell food cooking up here, but I don't smell it yet. Maybe I don't know if you've gotten to that part or if you're just still marinating. What was I gonna do here? One of my lights here in the office isn't on bright, and I don't know why. I'm trying to get over here to. Yeah, it's not responding for some reason. Oh, that makes me crazy. I'll have to go unplug it later. At least it's not one near me, but it says it's at 100%, and it's not. We one of our, I don't know if y'all have home pods. One of our home pods is doing its own thing. It's deciding to play when it wants to, and um it's just like it'll start playing music at any point in time, at any volume it decides it wants to, even when there's no one talking in the room. So it's not like it's mishearing anything. And apparently this is a thing that can start happening to them. And sometimes it's a software issue. And this one did get an update. It had a really hard time updating, and it's going through this. So that's fun. Andrew says, I started new kits for your birthday Kitapalooza. Yeah, Andrew's been working on new kits. So get ready, y'all. Andrew is working on new kits. He started them. I've been seeing little baggies of kits forming on the tables. And so he's been working hard on those too, getting some things ready for Kitapalooza on the 24th. So hopefully you all hang out with us on that day. Um, and get some awesome kits and celebrate my birthday by sharing lots of lovely things on the timeline, for the design challenges group. If you're not in our Allegory Gallery design challenges group on Facebook, if you're on Facebook, please come on in, join the group. um, it's an open group, so you don't actually have to join, I think, to participate, but we hope you'll actually join. It makes Facebook happy when those numbers go up. Makes us happy too. Andrew says it's coming up soon. Yes, it is. It's next Tuesday. It's next Tuesday. I'm gonna put these away. We're now down to 6 of these kits left. So only 6 of these left. If you'd like to grab yours, please do. They're at allegorygallery.com. Just look up Firehorse. Firehorse. I should have put it on the homepage, but I made a reel about it today and I shared that everywhere, and then I forgot to put it on the homepage. So hey, but you know how to find it. All right. Let's see. What did I grab today? I tried to grab some fun stuff today. Um, I've grabbed some vintage Czech glass, grabbed some miscellaneous. So let's jump into this. Um, Andrew says, I feel bad that you usually don't get to do anything fun since February is almost always the lean times. It's true. It used to be, even when it wasn't the lean times, when uh when it was, even like when we were in New York and it was always like, usually we'd go out to eat for my dinner. My friends would do birthday dinner plan. We go out to a French restaurant or something that I liked. Um, but I never did a lot because it's usually crappy weather. To be 100% honest, it's usually always pretty crappy weather. So we you know, it's hard. But uh I usually, we spend time together, and that's good. That's a nice thing. I don't need a lot. We've got a lot. I don't always need a lot. Um, all right, let's see. I didn't pick a letter for today. Um, let's do BET. I don't think I've ever done BET lots. BET lot. Let me check. No, never did bet. Let's see here. These are 14 each. Andrew says, it was lovely today. Someone was talking about snowstorms. Yeah, Marianne had snowstorms today. Um, I love these beads. There's only 2 strands of these available. BET1 are these beautiful vintage check glass green and black strands. And I love these. Talk about wicked, right? Really cool. I'll show you the other strand too. They're both really cool strands. They're very different, right? Different than what we normally see, especially in check glass. And those beads are approximately 19 by 22. 19 by 22. And it says, y'all can keep them, don't want no more snow. I know, I was talking, it looks like it's going to get cold next week around here again and possibly have some flurries. But I don't want it. I don't want it. I like things just the way they are right now. Just the way they are. Um, that's what we want. That's what we want. Oh, we just sold another Fire Horse kit. Thank you so much. And we sold a Cloud Dancer. Thank you. Marion says, too much snow. I couldn't get into my parking spot, so I'm parked on the street. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's too much. Thankfully, almost all of our snow around here has melted already. So that is happy news for me. Um, Kimberly says, I wish I could have seen the Cloud Dancer before I checked out. I will, I can refund the shipping on those. I'll package them together and refund shipping on those. If you buy them together or if you buy them separately, Kimberly, if you want to. No problem. This is I'm going to do it for 18. I don't know if this is in the online store right now, but I have one of these. Kimberly says, okay, deal. Checking out with it now. This is one of Andrew's bronze pendants. This is the Flying Skull pendant. Nice, done with bronze clay. Andrew, the bronze clay company that Andrew used is no longer making it. So he has some new clay that he hasn't gotten a chance to work with or try yet. So the bronze pendants that we have in the online store and these are kind of all that we've got for now until we figure out if that new clay is going to work for him. Andrew says that he's also working on a new design. So help us out to be able to afford some more of that if he once he because he has to do some trialing of that to see how it's going to work for him. So help us out, buy some of his bronze pendants. This one's $18 if you're interested in that. Let's see here. There's Kimberly's order, and I'm gonna right now. Let's see here. See how we can do this? I am refunding your shipping. Done. Shipping is refunded, Kimberly. So um, that way I don't forget to do it later. All right. Let's see. Susan says, I did see a snowflake on the local forecast for Saturday after having 70-degree days earlier in the week. It's so weird, right? So weird. Um, Marianne says, a lot of ours had melted, but I think this is more snow than the last storm. Oh my word. That's so much. Susie said, we're supposed to have some cooler weather next week, but I think that means 50s or 60s in the morning. Oh boy. Kimberly says, oh, cool. You were so fabulous, William. Hey, you're welcome. You're pretty fabulous too. Thanks for the support. Um, Andrew says, I bought some clay from the old company, but it was dried out. I tried to rehydrate it, but it's never the same. Yeah. So, um, yeah. All right. BET2 has sold. Thank you so much. We're going to put that one away. There are bronze coins in the online store. Like I said, I don't know if this one was still in there or not. Um, this was from a different batch, but if you do like Andrew's bronze coins and you haven't seen them in a while, definitely check them out. Um, there's some really cool designs there. We're getting lower and lower. Let me see here. Let's see. Here they are. I don't know why that one, I guess that's why that's coming up. Let's see here. Let me post this if it lets me paste. Is it gonna work? It's gonna work. There it is. Up, up. I knew that was gonna happen. What's going on now? I can't see my comments. All destinations. Okay. Oh, did it post it? There, it posted it. Good. There it goes. Just took a while. And it says you might have to adjust the total for that order. What do you mean? What do you mean? Okay. So there's that. If you want to check out Andrew's bronze pendants, I might just send out a link for that in the thing. And let's see here. Someone placed a big order. Okay. Yeah. Okay. BET. Let me keep going here. Oh, with the big order of the bronze coins, that already went out and I already adjusted everything. So all the numbers should be correct for that, if that's what you're talking about. I was confused. I was like, I don't know what's going on. Yeah, no, I already adjusted. Numbers should be correct. Should be correct. If you're watching here and you're grabbing some of those, in case I missed one or two. But yeah, numbers should all be correct. Let's see here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9 of these. These are $9 each. These are Paula Radke glass. I believe it's Paula Radke. Andrew, correct me if I'm wrong. Paula Radke glass beads. They are $9 each, and there are 9 of these available. And this color, sorry, my screen just got really small, so I'm like trying to use it here. This color in this blue is beautiful Paula Radke glass beads. And these are about 12 millimeter beads. Andrew says they're my Paula Radke collection. Yeah, they're from Andrew's collection. Beautiful beads. $9 per bead, which I think is a really good price. I'm just gonna put all these out because they look so pretty when you put them all out. Like, look at those. Look at those. Stunning beads. Andrew says I kept some of them. So those are the blues. I have a few other colors in here. BET4. These are artisan made glass beads and by Paula Radke. Marianne says little worlds. They are like little worlds, right? We've got this beautiful color as well. Let me show you one of them. Super pretty. We've got a good price on them. $9 a bead and 6 of that color available. I think we've only ever shown these once before. And I don't know if we've shown all of them or not. These are $9 each. And we've got 6 of these ones available. BET5. We've sold 2 of number 3. Oh, and we've just sold the rest of number 3. So those are all gone. Thank you so much. And let's see here. And BET5. Let's see. Andrew says it's easy to burn up the dichroic glass. It looks scummy and kind of yellow. She's really good at controlling that. Yeah, let's see. We have PET5. This is the light blue color. Look at the tealy blue. They look like magical unicorn beads. They're so pretty. BET5, $9 each on those. Oh, let me give you the size. Make sure. These are 13.5 for number 4, approximately. And these are 13 for number 5. Mermaid flavor, says Andrew, right? We've just sold all of 4. Thank you so much. Jewels of Atlantis, says Andrew. I know, right? All these, they're so pretty. So pretty. Let's see. Do I have any more of those while I'm on that streak? I think I do. I think this is the last batch of them, though. EET6, $9 each. 6 of these available. Oh, somebody tried to grab some more 4. Sorry, they are sold out. 4 is all sold out. And this is, I think, the last one. Oh, May says, hi, William. Did I get one of BET4? No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We do have these BET6 are these ones. and they are $9 each. There are six of those available. The lavender ones, Andrew says, can be Fantasylandia, right? Yeah, people like those lavenders. They are gone. We've just sold all of BET 5. Thank you so much. 5 is now sold out. 6 we've just sold 2 of. Thank you so much. We've got 4 of number 6 left. To give you a size on these ones, these are about 11 and a half. They're a little bit smaller than the others, I would say. Number 5, somebody just tried to claim 1 bead. Sorry, they are sold out. We do still have number 6. We have 4 of them so far. Andrew says Ocean Tears. There you go. Ocean Tears. All right, let's move on to BET7. Leslie says, I have my own extensive collection of Paula's beads. Yeah, they're nice collectible things, huh? They are nice. They're very nice. Let's stick with some lampwork glass. This one was 22. I'll bring it down to 18. This is a nice looking towards spring. Beautiful lampwork glass bead. This beautiful flower in pinks and purples. We just sold 1 more of 6. Thank you so much. So there are 3 of those left. 3 of those left. Andrew says, I kept all the little ones. And we just sold the rest of 6. So let me put all of those away. Those have sold out. Okay. And this is BET7. May, it says painting and lurking and trying to sneak in a bit of purchasing. Thank you, May. We appreciate it. So there is this beautiful bead. I love this bead. May says, did I get one of BET6? You did. You did get one of BET6. This is 24 by 21 approximately, or 20 and a half millimeters. Beautiful flowers. BET7. Let's see here. 1, 2. These were $4 each. I'll bring them down to $3 each. We were selling them as a whole bundle, but nobody's grabbed that. So this time we'll try and sell them per bead. These are these, I believe these are African metal, large African metal beads. They are various sizes, but they are now $3 a bead. They are weighty. They are big, beautiful beads, nice large holes. And we had them for $48 for the set of 12. And now we'll do them for $3 per bead, $3 each. Let me make sure this is each so y'all don't get confused since I'm talking about the whole set. $3 each, 12 of them available. They do vary in size. It looks like the Anders's Ethiopian brass. The biggest one is about 19 and a half. And probably the smallest one in here is about 16. So they do vary, but we'll pick some out for you if you like those. I love them. I think they're super cool, either as a pendant or as a even on a bracelet. Um, very cool if you're doing like if you're trying to do specifically like men's jewelry, that would be something that, you know, most men would be fine with having a nice big brass bead on there. Because as much as we'd like to think it doesn't matter, it matters to some people, right? And these are really cool. So those are $3 each. Andrew says they are heavy Ethiopian brass. Andrew says, I'm supposed to make a project for Sandra McEwen's Enamel Art Jam. My prompt is Circus Horse Shimmer. So maybe I'll try to incorporate some of those tiny Paula beads. That would be nice. May says, yeah, my last Paula bead from you was from a while ago. Good. I'm glad you got another one. Andrew says, you can use them for closures. Yeah, you could use this for closures too. That's a good idea. Use them to put through like a loop, a beaded loop, or even if you wanted to do it in leather or another like twine kind of material, that'd be really cool too. So that's BET 8. Next up, these were 30. We'll do them at 25 a strand. Ooh, where are we? Where's the... Come on. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I have 13 strands of these. These are rubies. 13 strands of these. $30 a strand before, now 25 a strand. They're about 3mm round rubies. You can see this was the suggested retail price on those from our vendor. And look how beautiful these are. Ruby beads, BET9, 3mm beads. They would look, I think, really good. I don't think I can get them through, but most of them would pass through here. Let me see if I can do this or not. No, I don't think I can. Because they have these little faux tassels on the end. Oh, maybe. There. Look at that. I think that would be super cool. I love that just like that. Make it into a necklace. I think that's super cool. I love sometimes just like the small beads with one larger bead. Andrew says they glow under the black light. Ooh, where's my black light? I don't know if this black light works or not. Nope, dead. That black light's dead. I think the other one's downstairs. So I don't have it up here, unfortunately. But Andrew says they glow. The rubies are going to glow under the black light. Not all rubies glow, but I believe these do. Andrew says those African beads would be good for multi-strands also since the holes are so big. Yes, they would. They would. You can see these are what I say, 3mm. Yeah, just 2.5 to 3mm beads, and they fit through there no problem. So you could do multi-strand, especially if you were parting the strand through the bead, parting the beads through the bead. Yeah, rubies, beautiful. Okay, let's see. Well, this is pretty. Suppose 28. I'll bring it down to 24. I've only got the one strand of this. And Andrew says, I stayed all night working on a commission. Yeah, he did. He's probably worn out. This is a beautiful Amazonite. It's got a light platinum coating to give it a little bit of extra flash. But these are really pretty just by themselves. They're really pretty Amazonite beads. They're like that flower, or they sometimes call it black gold Amazonite. Really pretty color. And like I said, just with a kiss of that kind of platinum finish to give them an extra little bit of sparkle. Look how juicy the blue ones on this strand can be. And this is about an 8 millimeter, 8 millimeter beads, full strand, one available, was 28, now $24. Andrew says, I kept missing the best parts of the pottery show we watched yesterday. Yeah, we were watching Pottery Throwdown. Anybody else watching that? It's not broadcasting here in the US, but you can find it online. I found it online, and we've been watching that. That's what we spent some of yesterday watching. And it's like Andrew falls asleep. Usually when they announce the best potter and then the person who has to go home, and I tend to fall asleep just as they're showcasing what everybody has done. So I miss, like, I watch everybody do all the work, and then I miss what they actually turned out like, and then I wake up in time to be able to tell Andrew who went home and who stayed. Andrew says, I like how some of the beads on this strand are a little organic. I know, right? It's really cool. It's a beautiful little strand. Um, yeah. And then I brought these out again because I love these. I don't know how many of these I have, but these are these little pearls. I know some of you all love these too. And maybe you've used yours up already. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've only got 5 strands of this color left. These are dyed vintage pearls. They're rice pearls. And they're this beautiful light silvery blue color. These little rice pearls, drilled lengthwise in a light silvery blue. And I thought those might be good for Easter if you're getting ready for that. And there are 5 strands available. Let me show you. Let me show you one strand kind of up close here. They're really fun beads. Beautiful vintage freshwater pearls dyed. And they are approximately 2.8, so about 3 millimeters wide by about 5.5 long. And like I said, there are 5 strands available. BET 11. Andrew said those are vintage. Yes, they are vintage freshwater pearl strands. All right, I'm going to put one away. Nobody's grabbed one. I thought you'd like that check glass. You can barely see in here, right? There's only 2 of those. We've only got 2 of those left. I love them. Maybe I'll keep one of those. We're getting to the point where I should feel okay keeping some of the vintage check glass we acquired. And I'm going to put away 7 just to clear the table off a little bit. It's this beautiful lampwork glass bead, artisan lampwork. That's BET 7. How are y'all still doing out there? I haven't had any comments but Andrew's in a while. And my comments stopped working? I don't see any over there. Everything okay out there, y'all? Let's see here. Oh, I just sold a BET one. Thank you so much. I knew somebody's gonna love those. And says, I love those green and black beads. I know. See, Susie says, I'm here. Okay, good. Good. Keep those comments coming. Keep talking, everybody. Tell me about your day. Tell me what you're doing. Are you excited for the year of the fire horse? What have you been making lately? We've been watching. We talk about our shows all the time, but we don't hear much from y'all about what you're watching. All right. Susan's still here. May's still here. Norma's still here. Good. Um, let's see here. Doing some cooking and cleaning at the same time, says Steve. That's good. That's good. All right. BET. Where am I here? Oh, we just sold a few of the 11s. Thank you so much. We have, looks like we sold 2 of those. We have 3 of those still available. Susan says, my day was not exciting. Fixed a shirt of my husband's. What happened to the shirt and how did you fix it? See, that's interesting. Like, people say their day's not interesting. I don't know how to fix a shirt. Like, if it's sewing on something or mending a hole, or I don't know how to do that. That's exciting to me. It's interesting to me. Andrew says, I think Facebook suppresses our feed since it's done through StreamYard. Yeah, I often wonder about that. Maybe we'll just do although most of our people watch on YouTube, I don't know if it's worth trying to do like just a Facebook Live at some point. The net's still here. Marianne's watching Dark Winds. Andrew says, of 8,000 people, we only have 2 watching here, and I'm one of them. Yeah, you would think more than 2 people would watch when we have 8,700, not just 8,000, almost 9,000 followers. 2 people are going to watch. Like, that's not, like, even if those people don't like us, like, that's a lot of people not watching our feed, which doesn't really seem likely to me. Norma says, I've been watching Olympic ice skating and making necklaces for February birthdays in women's group. Oh, nice. Susie says, every day. May says, painting my bead, painting my bead / multi-purpose area, almost done. Haven't had access to my beads for almost a week. Oh, no. That'll feel good when it's done, though, right? Susie says, that doesn't seem quite right. Yeah, right? 8,700 people and only 2 during the live? Like, it's not even like numbers are like kicking up and down. Like, it's pretty steady at 2, which you would think. Like, there's some really, like I said, you gotta really be following us and not like us for no one to be watching. I think we're suppressed. Because we stream through StreamYard instead of directly on Facebook. 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 7 of these little beauties. 7 of these beautiful strands. These are $5 each only. These are strands of, which is a really good price for these, because we usually sell these beads for more. Let's see. Oops. Diane says, love Dark Winds. I've never seen Dark Winds, I don't think. These are vintage Chinese ceramic beads. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 beads on a strand. Even if we sell normally for 50 cents each, that's still $6. You're getting them for $5 a strand. And this is 10 millimeter beads. Andrew says, I've been wanting to watch the Olympics. I know, we can't. We don't have the channel. Sue says, also fixed a sweater of mine. Same issue, a seam unraveled. It was an easy fix. I'm not a great seamstress. Had nachos for lunch. Ooh, nachos. Sounds really good. May says, Marianne, Dark Winds is on our future watch list. Susan says, sigh, I made nachos for lunch. Nice. Susie says, I look forward to the lives every evening. Thank you. We look forward to being here too. Andrew says they also like vertical, I think. I know YouTube likes vertical. When you went vertical on YouTube, they were jumping on your live stream. I don't know if Facebook likes it as much or not. Um, let's see here. Kimberly says I sometimes watch from both. I don't says, I know that doesn't help the numbers, but I do like to watch them both. Yeah, we appreciate that. It does help because it hopefully entices other people to watch. When people see only two people are watching, when they jump into a live, they don't stay, right? They're like, oh, this is only two people watching. They don't realize we have other people watching on YouTube and stuff too. Susie says, for dinner, I made potatoes and eggs. Nice. I love potatoes and eggs. It is a favorite of mine. This is $20. This is a beautiful, gorgeous tourmaline high-end bead. This is from Andrew's collection. We at one point had two of them. We now just have the one left. This is a hand-carved tourmaline bead. Beautiful bead drilled lengthwise. Hand-carved tourmaline. One bead available. I'm shining too much light on it. Sometimes when you hit the beads with too much light, you don't actually see them. Look at that. And this bead is about 12 by 16 and a half millimeters. One left. Andrew says we don't have the channel for the Olympics or Dark Winds. Ah, that's why. Susan says autocorrect is not my friend today. Actually, autocorrect is not usually my friend. Andrew says, love that bead. He says, I got it from a collection in Virginia Beach. Kimberly says, that looks like candy from grandma's candy dish. I know, right? It really does. It's like those candies that come out in the holidays. Do they come out in the holidays? Like those little stripy candies and things. And talk about throwback on that, right? That'd be a fun to make a little candy bracelet. Put a nice little high-end bead in there. Marion says, I will have potatoes, eggs, and onions for breakfast tomorrow. Nice. Don't eat the beads. Andrew says, the ribbon candies. Yeah. Andrew says, autocorrect often changes my grammar retroactively. Leslie says, oh, I love anything green. I know, right? I'm a green fan. That's my favorite color. Greens and reds. Definitely favorite colors. Let's see here. We've just sold, a bunch of people tried to grab 13. So that one has sold out. Thank you so much. That tourmaline is now sold. Wish we had more for y'all. We only ever had two of them, I think. If I remember correctly. I just knocked all my papers down. Let me grab these up. Leslie says, yeah, the ribbon candy, right? BET 14. What's next? These are nice. I like these. I thought maybe for Fire Horse, it doesn't have like, you'll see. These were 15. I'll do 12 each on them. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these. It's yellow, but like embers. These are a dyed agate. And let me get the light on them. There they are. And they are a microfaceted round. They are 3 millimeter beads, and I've got 6 strands of them available. I thought, like I said, for Fire Horse, I thought they'd be a cool color to mix in with the reds and the oranges to get that full, like, kind of flame look if you wanted to. And they're only $12 a strand, so good price on those. Andrew says, I'll type out one of my long posts and then hit publish. When I go back and read it, they change the verb tense on me. Yeah, they do that. They're sneaky like that. Or it tries to force me. It doesn't fix some of the obvious mistakes. Yeah, mine will give up fixing on like spelling mistakes, but it'll change my grammar or my tenses. It's really weird. It thinks it's smarter than me. I just can't type right. Let's see here. We had this at 36. Let's try and give it a really good price and see if anybody wants this one. It's a Lamport glass bead. Take it all the way down to $24. Lowest price we've ever offered on it. Probably not going to offer it at that price ever again. Look at that. Beautiful bead. And I think with this yellow, it would be really pretty together. I didn't plan that, but look at that. Beautiful together. Susan said the autocorrect drives me nuts. And she says, I can type fine, but it makes me complete with the predictive text. Yeah. It makes me compete with the predictive text. Yeah, that too. Yeah, sometimes now, if you just hit the space bar, it completes things that you didn't want to say. Like it instead of like you're supposed to hit the space bar to accept, but like sometimes you hit the space bar and it accepts things that you were not trying to say, and then you have to go back and delete them and rewrite them. Leslie says, wow, wow, wow. Right? I think these are really pretty. They'd be really pretty together. That's BET 14 and this is BET 15. Beautiful large Lamport glass bead, was 36, now only $24. And that is 32 by 45.5 millimeters. We've sold one of the 14s. Thank you so much. All right. Nobody's grabbing any of the BET 8s, so I'm going to put them away. That's the Ethiopian brass beads. Let me find, where's my bag for that? I'll just use this one. It should be fine. Last chance on those, $3 a bead. Ethiopian brass, large hole, easily fits that 3 millimeter bead in that hole. I'm going to put the rubies away. BET 9, still available. Nobody grabbed any of those, surprisingly. I know they're a little bit more expensive, $25 a strand, but they are rubies, so they're going to be a little bit more expensive. And we'll move 10. We'll put 10 away. Let's put 10 away. 10 away is the Amazonite with the platinum finish. $24. All right, now let's move them down. We've cleaned up enough, made enough room for some more things. BET 12 again, BET 14, BET 15. Boy, those are so nice. Okay. BET 16. That's a good one. Okay, this one I planned a little bit just now, not previously. But since we're doing yellow, BET 16 are these beautiful vintage check glass. I love these little kind of a smushed cube shape. I don't know what you call it. Like a pillow, a twisted pillow. I don't know. But they're really, really fun. There's only 2 strands available. They are $11 a strand. They're about 12 millimeters. And look at those. Those. With that. With some of these thrown in. Like, look at that. Nice. Maybe add some carnelian to that. Start really designing around that. I think that'd be really nice. Someone just claimed BET 14. Again, I just want to make sure that's what you meant. If you want 2 of those. If you just sent an email recently, did you mean to have 2 of these, or or did you want to send for a different number? Just want to make sure. Let's see. Andrew says, especially names. It is so embarrassing when I'm typing out someone's name, and I know they're sensitive about it because people have historically not been able to say their name. Oh, yeah. Well, I can, I can hardly ever, every single time I try and type out Andrew, it recorrects it to Andre. It takes off the W. Every single time on my phone that I try and type Andrew, it types out Andre. And I have no idea why, but it does. Andrew said, those remind me of the wedding beads. Oh, yeah. I could definitely see that. Okay, Diane says yes, too. Okay, good. Just wanted to make sure. The colors remind me a bit of Mookite. In the pendant, in these? Yeah. We had some Mookite the other night. Where did I have that? When did I have that? Oh, it was in the D stash. We did a D stash on Sunday night, y'all. I forgot to mention that. There's some Mookite. This would actually really go really well, I think, with some of the Mookite beads. That could be really pretty. Susan says, an autocorrect to change colors to Oh Laura. Oh boy. Andrew says, maybe it is trying to change my name. I know, right? Yeah, 15 and 16, says Susan. Yeah, there's some beautiful Mookite right now in the D-Stash group. So if you wanted to grab any of that, visit Andrew Thornton Project D-Stash on Facebook. Some really good shorty strands for like $5 a strand, I think, on many of them. The corner drilled squares or diamond shape. People really love those strands, and they're $6 normally, but I think I priced them at $5. So visit the D-Stash if you haven't checked those out yet. Okay, I did kind of plan. I pulled, like I said, I pulled some yellow earlier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 strands of these. They're only $4 each. 7 strands available. Maybe if I'm called Andre, then I'll be famous, says Andrew. Maybe, right? Maybe it's trying to tell us something. These are these beautiful tube. Well, they're kind of, no, they're rectangular. Here, I'm going to show you. Rectangular tubes of vintage Czech glass. May says, I got some Mookite coins from you also from a while ago. Love them. Yeah, I think this is the same series, only these are the corner drilled squares. They're so nice. And these yellow dual color, you got the clear glass and the yellow glass in there. Almost triple color. There's almost two shades of yellow, I think, in that. At least 2 shades of yellow. And those would go really well with these beads too. Susan says, but Andrew, you are famous. Needs to be more famous, right? Both need to be lots more famous. Gertie accidentally scratched my face the other day, says Andrew. Yeah, she got too excited. We've sold one of the 17s. Thank you so much. They're only $4 each. 6 strands still left. Let's see. I don't know. I keep thinking I see things moving on the screen, comments, and then I look and there's no comments. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm seeing things, y'all. These are $5 each. I've got 2 of them. Oops, looks like I got them up room. Let me make some room. Lost that bag. Here's. So let me find another bag for these. These are BET 11. Still got, I think, 4 of those available. Nope, sorry. 3 of those available. Vintage freshwater pearls. BET 12. I don't think anybody grabbed any of the 12s. Those are the vintage Chinese ceramic. Wow. That took a long way around in my brain. Vintage Chinese ceramic beads. That took a detour. Wow. Andrew says I was holding her and got scratched, and she got startled and scratched me. Kitties can get a bit crazy when they're overstimulated. It's true. Andrew says, LOL, fame has never interested me, but nowadays with the algorithm, it's a numbers game to get people to see your stuff. Yeah, that's the part, right? Andrew says, do you think they will pick up the trash tonight? I don't know, but I do know that no matter what, I put the trash out every Tuesday, whether I think they're going to pick it up or not. Worst case scenario, it waits till Wednesday, but I'm going to put it out tonight. I just didn't have time because I was running. I started this live in the kitchen because I was running out of time to get up to here to the office. These are really cool. Again, great for Firehorse with the orange ember kind of look. BET 18, these are $5 a pendant. There are 2 of them available. And they are a dyed quartz. Or they have onyx, and then I think this is quartz mix. About 24 millimeters by about 35. And that's BET 18. BET 18. I love this orangey yellow goodness we've got going on here. Let's see. I have one more. There's 3 strands of this available. BET 19. And these are $11 each, and there are 3 of them available. Again, it's the same shape. This time in this bright orange. This bright orange color. I mean, it's kind of a corally orange. I don't know. It even has, like, you can see, like, it almost looks like coral. It's got some various colors in the glass. It's a mix, which I didn't even notice till I started looking at them here up close. Look at that. So pretty. $11 each, 3 strands available. BET 19. Oh, we just sold 15. We just sold 15. We sold one of the 18s as well. So there's still one 18 left. Thank you so much. I'm going to take 15 away. Let's see, where are we here? 13. Okay. I'm going to put the 14s away. That's these. We'll put these away and make some room. BET 14. 13, 14, 15. I'm going to put 16 away. We still have 2 of these, I believe. Nobody grabbed any of the 16s. And it says, I got to see a presentation with Ruth Ball for the Enamel Society. That was a good presentation. So 15, 16. I'm going to move 17 down. Andrew says, there was a typo on my email address and I never got the email. So for years, I was missing a bunch of the programming. Yeah, I think he just thought that they weren't doing much, I guess. But he finally reached out and found out that they had a mistype in his email address. And he's been a member of the Enamelist Society for years and missed out on a lot of the programming. EET20. Let's see what's next in my bag of goodies. Oh. I got 2 of these. These are not a cheap date. They're not that expensive either. They're $28. But these are some exceptionally beautiful vintage check glass table cut beads. Look at these beauties. It's that beautiful blue glass that's table cut. How pretty, like they're glowing on, I don't know if you can see, they're like glowing on my hands. And there are only 2 strands of these available, $28 a strand. So pretty. Andrew says, I didn't realize it until we were in Italy. Yeah, because someone else, Jen was in it, right? These are 17 millimeters by 14 and a half. And thickness wise, they're about 9 millimeters. So rich. So nice. It's that beautiful cobalt. It's almost like a purpley blue. So deep and so pretty. Anyway, 2 strands available. BET 20, $28 a strand. All right. We've got these pendants. There are 3 of them available. These are a very light carnelian pendant. They are $6 each, and there are 3 available. Andrew says, someone forwarded me one of the emails, and I was like, huh, I wonder why I didn't get that. Yeah. These are beautiful, light carnelian. They're the like the whitish part. They've got a little bit of that color in them, like a milk glass kind of look. And they're so pretty. Nice stone pendants. And they already have a wire wrap on one end on each of them. You don't have to do that yourself if you don't want to. You can redo it if you want. But these are just the stone portions, about 54 by 14 and a half. Andrew says, ooh, I love those. They glow. Yeah, they're so rich. And they've got such, like, when you really look at them, they've each got some pretty patterns in them. Andrew says, I think it's silver wire. Oh no, can't tell. But they're so pretty. Trying to get, there it is. Look at them, they glow. Light passes through, so pretty. BET 21. BET 22. $10. This is a pendant. It doesn't want to come out the bag. Beautiful pendant. I think this is after an old coin, imprint after an old coin, if I'm not mistaken. Andrew can correct me if I'm wrong. It's a really cool pendant. And it's $10. Metal. 22 millimeters by about 29 and a half. One of those available. BET 22. All right, I'm going to pick up some of these. I need to make more room. Andrew says it's based off of an old coin. That's what I thought. Thank you for the confirmation. I'm going to put the BET 17s away. We've sold one of those, but didn't sell many more. Those are really cool. I'm surprised. Only $4. Maybe some people grabbed some when we had them before. BET 18. We sold one of the 18s. I still have one of them available. And I'm going to put the 19. I'm going to leave the 19 out. We just kind of put that one out there so far. Let's put that away. These beautiful 20s, the 21s, and the 22. Oh, Andrew's cooking. I smell the food coming up now. I smell the food cooking now. That marinade must have worked its magic. All right, we had these at 8. I'll do them for 6. Sorry, everybody. BET 23. This is a lot of kind of these fluted metal beads. Get them all out of here for you. They're super lightweight, little metal beads. And you get all of them for $6. And they're like a hollow bead. Andrew says, I think that one's based off of a Spanish coin. And these are 8 by 14.5 millimeters. And you get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 16, 18, 20, I think 23 of them. 23 of them. For $6. Was 8. I like these because they're super lightweight. And so you get the metallic look without the all that weight to it. And fairly nice size hole. I don't know. 1.7 millimeter hole approximately, it's saying. And that's BET 23. All right. Let's see here. And these at 12. Let's do them at 8. These are a kind of a bead cap. There are 2 of them in this color. And you can see they're like a glass bead cap. And then two of them in this color. And they're $8 for the set of 4. These are 9.5 by about 10.5 millimeters. And they're kind of cool. I've never seen them before. And she says, I was not feeling good yesterday, so I cleaned the oven stove. So he's not feeling good, so he cleans. Oh boy. BET19, I'm going to put this away. This is this beautiful corally orangey color vintage check glass. They're $11 per strand, 3 strands available. I'm going to put 20 away as well. Nobody grabbed 20. Kind of surprises me, but kind of doesn't, because I know they're a little bit more pricey. Table cut, especially at this size, chunky always is. These are beautiful vintage check glass beads. Nice kind of chunky beak beads. $28 a strand, 2 strands of those available. And let's move these down. 21, 22, 23. These are so light. They also sound good too. And so sometimes doing a mindless task that I put off doing is nice. Yeah, that's true. That's true. BET25. I'm really surprised no one's grabbed these yet. I think these would be great to make tassels with. Like if you have silk strands to cap, use these as caps on a silk tassel. I think that would be really cool. Especially like I know some of y'all have grabbed some of the side stitch silk and some of the other silks that we have. Some of those we've had in the past are almost this kind of dreamy kind of color. Or if you mix multiple ones with it, especially this color. I think those are really cute. Anyway, okay. Oh, and the holes on these are about 6.5 millimeters. 6.5 millimeters. Andrew says, I think they're unicorn. Then I underpriced them if they're unicorn glass. I definitely underpriced them if they're unicorn. All right. For those of you who like cabochons, I pulled a few cabs today. I think these are cabs. Yeah. This is a beautiful labradorite cab. Oh, we just sold 24. Thank you so much. This is a beautiful labradorite cab. $10 only. Flat backed. $10 only. That's a beautiful cab for $10. It should be like $24, $36. Honestly, that's a beautiful cab. Andrew says, wow, I know, right? 28.5 by 36.5 millimeters. I'm going to go ahead and put away, where's my bag for those? Put away these that sold. Put these back. Running out of room over here. Started too far to the right. Let's move these over. And BET26. Let's do this one at 18, BET 26. This is a hand-carved labradorite cab. Beautiful hand-carved flower on there. Andrew can tell you how difficult that is. $18. Beautiful. And again, flat backed. This is 22 by 26.5 millimeters. Beautiful labradorite, hand carved cabochon. BET 26. All right, BET 27. These are silver. They're $10 each. And then these are these beautiful silver little pendants or charms. See, sterling. And these are $10 each. Little hearts in sterling silver, 16 by 18 millimeters. There are 3 of those available. $10. Andrew says, makes me want to carve stones. I know, right? All right. I'm going to put away BET 21. These are still available. And I'm going to put away BET 24 as well. I'm sorry, 22. 22, what am I saying? 22. 24 was already sold. And it says, reminds me of some of the ironwork in Charleston. 22. I'll put BET 23 away. It's these beautiful lightweight metal beads. $6 for all of those. And let's, whoops, left one on the board. And let's move these down. Labradorite cab, $10. Labradorite cab, hand carved, $18. Sterling silver hearts, $10 each. BET 28. There's only one strand of this left. BET 28. And these are mini table cut check glass beads. Those little table cut beads in that red, kind of like an oxblood red. Is that right? And I love, you don't see table cut this small a lot of times, I feel like. So these are really cool. BET 28. These are about 7.5 by 8.5 millimeters. Just the one strand, BET 28. Only got one of those left. It's kind of rare, I feel like. BET 29. This is a crazy price for this. $5. Vintage check glass strand. $5. BET 29. And I think for the person who got, let me just show you if I'm right or not. The person who got BET 15, let me see if this looks good together. In case you're playing around, look at that. With some of those yellows we had earlier. I think that's super cool. So that's BET 29. Oh, we've just sold 28. Thank you, thank you. 28 is now sold. We'll put that away. Kimberly says that is fabulous. Isn't it a nice combo, I think? Sometimes these things just happen. I did not plan that, but in my head, obviously I had like some kind of colors in my head when I was putting this stuff together for the show tonight. And let's do these as the last one. BET 30. $12 each. 2 strands available. These are kind of a basic beige. Sometimes you need that, I think, right? Just a nice neutral. And these are, again, these kind of like shifted pillows, twisted, shifted pillows that are table cut. But what a beautiful uh, plating. That's not the word. But look at some of those kind of blue tones in there. Again, even these I think could play off each other well, because look at the blues. Look what really stands out when you put these together because of the blue metallic in these beads, which we've just sold 29. Thank you so much. But look how, like, you could barely, I feel like you barely saw those blues before, and then you put them together and it's so pretty. Diane's asking to put 15 next to 30. Okay. This bag 15's in is it keeps, it's such an old bag, it keeps splitting. These are vintage things in a lot of cases. All right. There's 15 with 30. We've just sold one strand of 30. We've got one left. Look how pretty that is. Gorgeous. Put some of those yellow faceted rounds we had before in between. Lots of things you could work with on that. So there's one strand of 30 left. 29 has sold out. Thank you so much. Kimberly says, oh, I have not seen that before. Kimberly says, absolutely spectacular. Yeah, there's some good stuff in here tonight. You know, I had fun pooling tonight. I could tell I thought people were gonna like some of this stuff because I had fun pooling. Kind of got into it and found some unique stuff, I feel like. So I'm gonna put 27 away. We're gonna clear the board here as I sign off. I just want to remind you that there are things in the D stash. If you are part of our Andrew Thornton Project D stash, I hope you'll check them out. There are lots of good things in there. And I think I did 30 lots. I think there are 30, maybe 40. I can't remember if I did 30 or 40 lots this weekend. But they are available and some really nice things for y'all. I pulled mostly from the store floor. So giving you good prices on things from the store floor. We often don't have sales on things in the store. So anytime I pull them for the D stash, you're getting extra special kind of deals on that stuff. We've just sold the last number 30. Thank you so much. And that, our friends, is that for tonight. Put 30 away. That one is sold. Yeah. So thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all the support. We really appreciate it. I'm going to do up the spreadsheet and send out some invoices and compile everything for orders. And yeah, remember, we have those beautiful kits in the online store. So if you missed getting any of those earlier, we have the kit for the Cloud Dancer. We have the kit for the Lunar New Year here, the Fire Horse. We also have a kit for Easter, and we have a kit for St. Patrick's Day. So grab those and get ready to celebrate the holidays. Those are at allegorygallery.com. And that's all I've got, y'all. Thank you so much. Have an amazing, amazing evening. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all of your support. We're grateful for you all. And we will see you back here tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern Time because I've got pottery class tomorrow night. All right. See you then. Have a great one, everybody. Bye now.